travel world, and welcome to Experience Travel with Katie and Allie. My name is Katie Lilly, and I am the owner of the Travel Marketplace.
And I'm Allie Schultz, expert travel consultant with the Travel Marketplace. Today we're going to experience travel with Avalon Waterways, Lori Nojame. Hi.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me here.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. And can you tell our viewers, can you just introduce yourself to our viewers and maybe introduce us to Avalon Waterways?
Certainly. So my name's Lori Nojame. I actually live and I'm based in Syracuse, New York. Right now, I am what they call the business development manager for the Globus family of brands. So Avalon is actually part of a much larger company named Globus, which we just celebrated our 94th year in business. So we're a family-owned company out of Lugano, Switzerland. We have our U.S. Headquarters here in Littleton, Colorado. So yeah, Avalon is one of 4 brands within our company, but it's absolutely one of my favorite, and I love any chance to talk about it.
Great. And can you tell our viewers what they can expect if they were to book an Avalon cruise?
Absolutely. So Avalon Waterways, it's most known for their views, and something that's exclusive to Avalon Waterways is what we call our open air balconies. And we have them in what we call our panorama suites. So all of our ships are called our suite ships. All of our ships are suite ships. They're all consistent from one ship to the next. We have a completely consistent fleet. And the open air balconies, they're actually 30% larger than any other river cruise cabins. And what's really unique about them is that they're 11 feet of floor to ceiling glass that open up 7 feet, your beds face out, and your entire room is your balcony. So because of that, we can have the larger cabins. So our average cabins are 200 square feet. And, 4 years running now, we've been voted best cabins in river cruising. And it really does come down to the view. So our ships were built specifically to give people every opportunity to enjoy the views along the rivers.
And what are some of the inclusions that guests can expect?
So on all of our ships, we include, of course, all of your meals. We include excursions every day. So every time you're in a port of call, if you're in more than one port, it's more than one a day. And you'll have a selection every day of included excursions. We have complimentary Wi-Fi all throughout all of our ships. We include beer and wine with lunch and dinner, as well as sparkling wine with breakfast, and specialty coffees, bottled waters. In fact, right now we're in the process of replacing having bottled waters on board our ships and putting on water dispensers. And you'll have the opportunity to select from all different types of waters, different flavors, if you want something special. And so everything pretty much on board is included.
Lori, let's take a look at a video on Avalon Waterways.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
The same company that reinvented river cruise ships with spacious rooms, huge windows, one-of-a-kind open-air balconies, and beds that face the ever-changing views outside, just reinvented the river cruise experience. Now you can choose 3 different ways to enjoy each destination, all as included excursions. You can choose to tour the classic sites and take in the stories. Or you can immerse yourself a bit deeper into local culture with an off-the-beaten-path discovery, a wine or beer tasting, or hear stories of local legend and lore. For the more adventurous souls, you can jump on a bike, paddle a canoe, or take a hike. Avalon has made it possible for you to cruise your way. We've also opened up a world of possibilities when it comes to dining, allowing you to choose where you'd like to dine, from an alfresco lunch in our open-air sky grill to a more elegant dinner in our glass-walled dining room, or a petite plate in our panorama bistro. You can also choose when you'd like to dine. Our travel choices allow you to custom design your cruise, so you're always doing exactly what you want to be doing. Let us introduce you to the magic of the world. And you can experience it any way you'd like, with all the possibilities aboard Avalon Waterways.
All right. Well, Lori, I really want to go on a river cruise. And I know that we were just talking before we started this about the one that you recently did in Cambodia and Thailand on the Mekong River. So I think I said that right, or did I mispronounce? I think I might have. Mekong River, sorry. So what, in addition to those, what are some of the other rivers that Avalon sails on?
Okay. Well, we do obviously all the major rivers in Europe, but we do, as you mentioned, the Mekong River in Cambodia and Vietnam. We do the Nile River in Egypt. We do the Ganges River in India. We do the Galapagos, which isn't really a river, but we do have a small 16-passenger yacht that we do the Galapagos. And we do the Amazon River in South America.
I was I was wrong in where the Mekong River, I was wrong in where that goes.
Cambodia and Vietnam.
Yeah, okay, it's Cambodia and Vietnam. So amazing. So what are some of the things in, let's just say, because you recently went in Cambodia and Vietnam, what were some of the things that stood out to you on that river cruise?
Right. The difference in the culture and in the food and in the language, but the fact that I think people have some issues, especially when they think about Vietnam, and, you know, obviously there's a lot in the past between our countries, but when you go there, the people are the most kind and the most welcoming of anywhere I've ever been in the world. And it's very different. Cambodia and Vietnam are two very different countries. I happened to do the trip where we started in Ho Chi Minh City and did two nights in Ho Chi Minh City before we boarded the ship. And I don't think I've ever seen a crazier city in my entire life. It's fast and it's so energizing. And then you get on the ship and you sail down the Mekong River and you stop in these little villages. And you go in and the kids welcome you into their school and they practice their English with you. Or someone invites you in to show you how they carve the sampan boats that they still use on the rivers today. And so instead of it's very cultural, and you get a chance to experience life in a way, because these are not commercial ports that you stop in. They're literally, they pull the boat over and you walk up a dirt hill into a village. And so it's an amazing experience because they're still living a life in a way that, you know, we haven't seen in this country in many, many years. So everything is so basic and so simple, and they're all about family, and they're just very kind and welcoming people.
And I know with Avalon, with a lot of your other destinations as well, on a lot of, you know, both Europe and Africa and Egypt and all of that, you do a lot of the excursions, like you said, in the Mekong River, where you're more immersed in the culture. So you can do typical quote unquote, you know, tourist kind of things, but there's a lot of other excursions that allow you, you know, to really be at one with the people and experiences and things like that, correct?
Yes, and something that's a little bit unusual or different about the Avalon brand is that on all of our, we'll call it our classic cruises, so that's going to be our Danube and our Rhine, and we break our excursions up into active, discovery, and classic. So right when you look at the excursions, and it helps people determine what type of experience they want to have when they're in that port. So I know myself, I love discovery excursions. I like wine tasting, and I want to do painting classes, and I want to do something that's an experience in that destination. Other people want to do active, so they'd rather do a biking tour through Vienna or a hike up a mountain to overlook the river. And other people want classic. They want to see that must-see cathedral or downtown area or whatever that port is known for. So every day you have that selection, and you can really, you know, fine-tune what kind of experience you want in each of the places that we stop. And that's kind of unique.
It is, and it really caters because, like you mentioned, there's different people, you know, different types of people. Sometimes people are, the active, and I probably would be more towards the discovery or the active, depending on what was offered, would be me. And some people just like that laid back, and sort of just stroll about and get lost. So it's nice that you guys offer those different excursions. So it's something for everybody.
Yes.
And the other thing with Avalon is wherever you are, you try to make the food kind of unique to that area, correct? Or you get the food from, sourced from those areas, and wine and things too.
When I mentioned the beer and wine included with lunch and dinner, they're regional beers and wines. So when you're traveling through Austria and you're going through the wine country of the Wachau Valley, you're going to have Austrian wine served to you that night at dinner, or Austrian beers, and the same in Germany and the same in France. So, we cater the beverages to the region as well as the food. And so there's always going to be a selection of food that is, what North Americans love, a steak, chicken, or salmon. But every night you're going to have a selection of different choices that are specialties of that region. And so a lot of times it's something that maybe if you went out to a restaurant here, you wouldn't have tried, because if you didn't like it, now your whole dinner's ruined. But when you're doing something like that and you're on a cruise, you're like, oh yeah, I'll definitely try that. What have I got to lose? I'm in Germany. I've never had, schnitzel. So, you'll tend to do something and try something different when you have those regional specialties available.
I agree with that. That's one of the things that I like about, the all-inclusives or cruises or things like that, is you can, and I love trying new foods personally, but do I want to pay $20 for this dinner that I may not like?
Exactly.
Not. But it's nice when you're in those places where you can try it. And if you don't like it, then you just order something that you do know you like, but at least you tried it, right?
And they're very conscious. If you leave, if your plate is not being touched, somebody's going to come over and say, do you not like that? Would you like to get something else? Or, if you're not drinking your wine fast enough, they'll be like, would you like to try something different instead of that? And so you don't feel like, bad that you didn't like something. Now you just try something else.
That is really a nice thing.
And all of your cruises as well, all the river cruises that you offer, you're able to extend either on the front end of your cruise or on the back end of your cruise as well, if you wanted to spend more time in your starting or ending city.
Right. So the way we have it set up now is all of our cruises are cruise only. And then, as I mentioned, we have other brands within our company. So you can do a pre or post with Avalon. We call that the Avalon Your Way, and you can add on nights. But you can also add on what we call monograms, which monograms does a lot of 3-night city stays in big cities all over the world, honestly, or extended tours that you can do. So you can add on a monograms pre or post. So, and it doesn't even have to be where you are. So let's say you're doing a Rhine cruise from Amsterdam to Basel, but you could add on a 3-night city stay in London before, just because you're like, well, if I'm going over, I've always wanted to go to London. So you can add on a monograms, or you can add on an entire Globus tour. So let's say you're doing that cruise from Basel up to Amsterdam. We have a great Switzerland tour on Globus. So you could do a Switzerland tour, end in Basel, and then sail up to Amsterdam. So it gives you a lot of ways to customize it, exactly how you want to do it. So it's not just all cookie cutter here, these are your choices. We give you many different ways to put your package together the way you want.
I like that, because I know a lot of clients nowadays ask for the customized. They want something a little different. They want the extra experiences. So that's great that you guys offer that.
Yeah, and all of a sudden you might add on something that just because you've never been and it didn't make sense to go to London for 3 nights, but now if you're going on something else, it's easy to add it onto. And then we're, of course, going to provide the local host on the monograms program, your breakfast, and included sightseeing tour, and then, provide you the transportation to get to the cruise.
Those are really nice. And Lori, can you tell us a little bit about Avalon's Peace of Mind travel plan?
Absolutely. So what we're doing right now is we're allowing our guests on Avalon to cancel up to 48 hours prior to their departure. So if for some reason you don't feel comfortable traveling, we are offering that peace of mind. Another thing that we're doing going forward is we've introduced a new program called Avalon Assurance. And this is just really some of the new protocols that we'll be putting putting in place on board all of our vessels. And it includes everything from additional hand sanitizing, sanitizing luggage prior to it being brought on board the ship, temperature checks when you board, enhanced cleaning in all of the staterooms between cruises. We will have a reduced number of capacity on board, and we'll be more spread out with our dining options, offering more places to dine so that we can spread out our guests on board. So we've really taken into account everything about the life on the ships and what we can do to make sure that we keep both our guests and our crew healthy and safe when they're on board Avalon.
That's great. And safety is key.
Yes, absolutely.
I know we appreciate it, and I know our clients do as well. Is there anything else you wanted to tell our viewers today, Lori, before we go?
Well, one thing I encourage people is, go on our website and see just some of the amazing destinations that you can travel to. Most people don't really know one difference from one river to the next, but each river has its different nuances and personalities. And so it's always nice to be able to look and see what can I do if I go on the Rhine? What is it known for? What is it Danube? How are they different? Because I think there's definitely a river cruise out there for everyone. And I think that, just going on and doing your research and asking you guys, because I know you guys are always on my webinars and learning about the Avalon brand, and just, right now is a great time to do all that dreaming and work on that bucket list and, really determine, what is the perfect river cruise for you.
That sounds great. And thank you, Lori, for joining us today. And thank you for experiencing travel with the Travel Marketplace and Avalon Waterways. If you have any questions or would like any more additional information on Avalon Waterways, please feel free to contact us at the Travel Marketplace. Until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep dreaming about that next travel experience.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.